Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I am going to teach you one heck of an ambitious combo that I came up with about a month ago, and that went super viral on Instagram. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Fire Mecha, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterror Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing businesses and what they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And special thanks to non-business friends of the channel, Johnny Howard, Lain Mochinsky, and Pekha Pekkonen. Thank you all so very much for your support for my work and my mission. So if you haven't seen it already, this was an awesome video that I did and posted to Instagram, and that was very, very popular about a month ago. And I already did a video explaining the process by which I wrote the choreography for it. What I haven't done, however, is taken people through it step by step. This is a really, really, really difficult piece of choreography, not just because it's moving very, very rapidly, but also because there's a lot of footwork involved. Therefore, I wanted to take some time and care and attention with this one and show you all exactly what goes into it. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. I produce lots of videos around flow arts and poi spinning. I teach tutorials, I teach combos like this, and yes, I talk about flow arts culture as well, so make sure that you get the latest videos when they come out. All right, so if you want to learn this combo, here's the list of tricks that you're going to need. It is not a short one. You're going to need to know how to do cap versus pendulum, as well as how to do spiral wraps, and specifically spiral wraps in a horizontal plane above your head. It's also going to be helpful to know how to do meltdowns, as well as poi snakes, but specifically poi snakes that end in a hand switching toss. Don't worry, we'll go through the details on how this works. You're also going to want to know how to do Yuta stalls, and finally, how to do Zan's diamond in split time opposites. So if you need to catch up and learn any one of these tricks, don't worry, it's no big deal. I'm going to leave links to tutorials for all these tricks down in the description, as well as up in the cards if you happen to be watching this video on YouTube. First, I'm going to show you the combo at full speed, then take you through it step by step before finally showing it to you again in slow motion. So real talk, this one is a novel of a combo. It is designed to move back and forth across the stage. It is designed to be fast. It's designed to be exciting. So that's going to mean that there's going to be a lot of changes happening incredibly rapidly in here. If you would prefer, it's not the worst idea in the world to come at this from the perspective of saying, hey, I'm going to do a few more reps on all of these things than Drex is, because that will probably make this more attainable to a lot of people. The tricks are really advanced. The transitions are happening incredibly quickly. There is absolutely no shame in taking this combo slower than I am. So with all that said, let's start to break this down. I will say most of the combo happens with me choking up on my tethers just slightly. Normally I do the kind of key grip that is typical of tech poi spinners. This is one of those cases where I'm actually gripping from further up the tether and having the tether like basically go across the palm of my hand. The reason for this being that it just makes the poi more responsive to quick stalls and the like. I find that that's very, very helpful with a lot of the stuff going on here. Your mileage may vary, but especially when it comes to all the stuff with the point isolations, it may be difficult to move your body around fast enough to be able to, move across a full poise length as those point isolations are happening if the tethers are a little bit longer. So this combo to me is notable because it plays around with contrast between two different things. The first is the contrast between repetition versus really rapid changes, as well as things like point isolations. Point isolations pop up a lot in this combo, and and they're used specifically to displace the body rather than just displace the poi. It becomes a way to move the body around, which I personally think is really cool. So let's take a look at the first instance of this. The combo starts off with me performing cap versus pendulum here. This is what I would consider to be basically the gateway anti-brid. This is probably the first anti-brid you're going to learn if you're going to learn them. As I'm going back and forth here, I want you to pay attention to either side of this trick, and note that there's always a moment to my left as well as to my right when the two poi form a straight line out to my side. It happens very, very quickly, but it does exist. The thing that first inspired me to make this combo was actually taking that moment and seeing if I could execute a point isolation stall around that straight line. If you want, you can mess around with this a little bit and practice, boom, doing that point isolation stall and then coming back into pendulum versus cap. Like, part of the point of this is to almost execute a magic trick and see if you can arrest the momentum of the poi so quickly that the poi just seem to hang there in midair. That's the ideal here. Boom, like so. So we did the point isolation stall and it was lovely. Now we're gonna go to the second part of this, which is I'm gonna pull my right hand around and do something that I call the UFO. This is just me doing basically a 2-beat on a horizontal plane as my right hand traces up and down my left. I wanna show you something very important about this. Look at this from the side. My right hand is nowhere near my left hand. I'm doing this specifically because I would frequently tangle this in earlier attempts at this. When I have them arranged in a straight line like this, the audience cannot tell. As far as they're concerned, there's a direct relationship between the two. On the side here, though, I'm making sure that there's always several inches between them to avoid those tangles. So we're going to do once, twice, 3 times with this. As we're doing that, I also want to throw in a level change. Namely, I want you to plie with the right hand poi every time it goes down. Now, thing is that as you're doing this, it's going to be real tempting to bring down your left hand with you because, of course, your whole body is going down. What I want you to do is straighten out your left hand every time you do the plie, like so. I want you to try and isolate that left hand poi in space and thus have a contrast between the plie and that poi just kind of sitting there, right? Now, the third time you go down, as you come back up, boom, we're going to do a little jump over to stage left. I will confess that in my head, this is supposed to be a butterfly kick. I'm kind of nervous about doing that with the mic setup right here because I think I might disconnect the mic. But the theory is that you're doing the jump, right, left, go up, and you land over here at your right-hand side, yeah? Or, excuse me, this is stage left. What am I talking about? Over to stage left. Now, this whole thing flows together, so as you're making that leap, boom, you do a little horizontal flower, and as you come around, you're going to stop with a little horizontal spiral wrap above your head. As you're doing that, right hand comes around. It taps the front of your body as that spiral wrap completes, and it also leads the way back out. Now, momentum really truly is the key to this. You're going to take this moment and like almost make it feel like a rebound as you push out to do another horizontal flower as you turn out to your right. Now, as you're doing this, what leads it is that right foot, rebounding off the front of you. It reaches out, and that kind of like you do a small plie first, and that takes you up for the turn. The turn, you're going to trail your left foot behind you in what for me is the sloppiest arabesque ever, but that is the intention at least. Boom, as you go around. That also has the effect of kind of like tripping out that turn just a little bit, making it last a little bit longer, which I like. And this really is, the momentum of this keeps on traveling to stage right. So after we do the come out, boom, as we come around, we find ourselves in the tail end of a meltdown here, kind of facing downward to stage right. Now, what's tricky about this is that we're only doing half of the meltdown. I'm bringing my right hand over in front of me and my left hand behind me, and then immediately after I come out, I'm switching over into those snakes. This is kind of a tough reach. You can think of it as being that as you go around, boom, your right hand continues its it continues its movement around back behind your back to get to that position. Okay, so coming out of this position right here, your right hand is going to come around back behind you, your left hand is going to stay in front, you're going to keep the left hand right where it is, the right hand is going to come around to meet it, and that is how you get into that snake. Very crucial, because my focus goes down to stage right in that meltdown, I want my focus to go out to stage left as I'm doing the snake out to the side, yeah? All right, so this snake into a hand switching throw. This is something that I would say that at this point I'm kind of infamous for. Here's how it works. Normally when you're doing snakes out to the side, you're trying really hard to place linear isolations around your shoulders. Problem is that the placement of that doesn't work with performing a stall along your center line. If you were to perform a stall coming out of that, it would wind up with your hands crossed, right? So you have to kind of fake it a little bit. You have to perform that linear isolation rather than around your shoulders. It's going to happen instead around your elbows, so that when you pull in, you have the right alignment in order to hit that stall. Which winds up looking like this. We go out, we come in, boom, and we switch. Now, after I make the catch, the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm not even going to add any momentum to the poi at all. I'm going to take a Yuna stall around back behind me, yeah? There's one of two ways you can do this. You can do this either as an inside pirouette, or if you want to make the combo finish in the same spot that it started in, you can do this as an outside pirouette. Either which way works. Basically, as you take the poi around here, though, the momentum of them is going to get them to stick out in space. Now, when you finish it over here to the side, we're going to execute one of my favorite tricks, which is basically taking that moment when the two poi are out to the side and turn that into the beginning of Zan's Diamond. The momentum of this is really weird, but I'll show you how to do it. So when you're doing Zan's Diamond in split time opposites, there's this point right here along the middle where you're having your hands and poi switching positions vertically, just using linear extensions like this, right? Now the thing is that when you're doing linear extensions like this, there are places in there where the two poi are just pointing out to either side. The trick is to use that, basically you're almost treating it like it's a stall and pulling the poi out of it. So if you're up top, you're pulling your hand down and treating it like a top stall. If you're on bottom, you're treating it like it was a bottom stall and you're pulling your hand up, right? So after we come out of our throw, we switch hands, take it around. Now I'm in a place where I've got my left hand on top, my right hand on bottom. What I do is I pull my left hand down, my right hand up, boom, and start into Zan's Diamond. I'm basically starting it along the center line there. You see that? So my right hand is going to come up, my left goes down, they both go to the right, then left, and boom, I'm into Zan's Diamond. I will also say, just as like a personal choice here, I really like taking the entire body from side to side as we're moving across, yeah? So I hope you do too. Don't worry, we're almost done. We're going to go through Zan's Diamond twice, and on the second time, boom, we stall both poi out to the right, and we let both of our hands swing down. And I had to learn this the hard way, that you don't actually swing them all the way to the left. You kind of stop your hands on center line and bring your hands up a poise width apart. And as that happens, you can do a little chasse over to your left-hand side, and you drop into a static spin versus extension, and then back into a cap versus pendulum if you want to start the combo over again. If not, wrap up the poi in your hands, and that's it. Cool, let's take that from the top. So I have cap versus pendulum, which I, boom, do a point iso stall out. I do some plies, jump, and spiral wrap, arabesque out to the side, down into that meltdown, out into the snake toss, take it around. I'm in Zan's Diamond once. I'm in Zan's Diamond twice. Boom, take it down and around, switch around, and that's where I end it. Let's see that again in slow-mo. So that's a heck of an elephant to try and eat in one bite, dear friends. For those of you who are going to try and learn how to eat it anyway, you have my respect. If I could also ask a quick favor, that is, if you shoot video of yourself doing this combo, or maybe your own version of it, if there are some parts that you want to change, please, if you post that video online, make sure to tag me. I'm DrexFactor on both Instagram as well as YouTube, and I would love to see your hard work. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to help other people find this video, as well as to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible without the kind support of all of these awesome people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. Thank you one and all for your support. If you out there watching are not currently a supporter and would like to become one, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and signing up. There you can get a bunch of awesome rewards, such as early access to my content, as well as a private lesson that gets delivered to your personal inbox every single week. Plus which you'll be helping me out in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the wider world, and that will make a lot of people happy. So do go check that out, please and thank you. All right, I'm officially melting here. I need to go back inside. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this combo tutorial, I have many more like it. I will include a link to a playlist of those combos down in the description, as well as up on screen if you're watching on YouTube. In addition, the YouTube algorithm thinks that you like this top video here, so you might want to give that a shot as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Get out and flow this weekend. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. I definitely know that I will. And I will see you all with a new video on Monday. Peace.